Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the place you come to get smart about interesting stuff, fast. We dig through sources, pull out the gold, and serve it up so you're informed, maybe even entertained. Today, we're diving into something huge. A global mega hit. You definitely heard it, probably danced to it, maybe even hummed it without knowing a word. Yep, we're talking Despacito. Luis Fonsi, Daddy Yankee. It was everywhere, wasn't it? Just this massive, inescapable rhythm.
Absolutely inescapable, an earworm for the entire planet.
Exactly. But look, our mission today, it's not just about grooving to the beat. We're going deeper. This is about unpacking the culture, the psychology, even the surprising teaching moments hidden in those lyrics.
Yeah.
We want to show you how even a huge pop song like this can be like a lens, a way to understand people, maybe even learn something useful, especially if you're not, an education expert or anything.
Right. It's about finding the substance in popular culture.
Precisely. And our source, we're going straight to the lyrics, the official YouTube video transcript for Despacito. That's our text. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's unpack this thing.
Okay, so the first thing that just jumps out is how this song smashed through language barriers. I mean, its cultural impact, it wasn't just big, it was phenomenal. A Spanish language track dominating global charts, that was huge. It really cemented Latin urban music, that reggaeton, pop, fusion, on the world stage.
Yeah, that beat is just infectious.
Totally. It's got this unique rhythm, that dembo beat deep down, but mixed with pop sensibilities. It just works, whether you understand the words or not.
I remember hearing it absolutely everywhere, and it felt like certain phrases just entered the global vocabulary almost.
Definitely. How many people started saying Despacito?
Or like humming, pasito a pasito. Even if they had zero Spanish, it's kind of like accidental language learning.
It really is. And that takes us straight to a really cool pedagogical angle, something anyone can grasp. You don't need a teaching degree. The repetition in the lyrics makes it, surprisingly, a pretty effective tool for picking up basic Spanish.
Oh, so? Just hearing it over and over.
Well, yeah, partly. Take the title Despacito. Slowly, it's repeated constantly, but then you get that really iconic line.
Pasito a pasito, suave, suavecito.
Nos vamos pegando poquito a poquito. Right.
Step by step, softly, softly, we get closer, little by little.
You hear that again and again, so it just sort of sinks in. Is it purely the repetition?
It's the repetition plus the music. The melody, the rhythm, they make the phrases sticky, memorable. It's natural reinforcement. You're not drilling flashcards, you're just listening.
Yeah.
Learning happens almost subconsciously.
Wow. So music really can be this universal language, even helping you pick up bits of another actual language. Breaks down barriers.
Definitely. It's a window into another culture right there on the radio. Shows learning isn't just for classrooms. Our brains are soaking stuff up all the time. Yeah, we probably learn way more passively than we realize.
Yeah.
Okay, so beyond the language, the culture, you mentioned psychology. How does Despacito play on psychology?
This is where it gets really interesting, I think. The whole core idea, Despacito, slowly, that's not just tempo. It's a psychological strategy playing out in the lyrics. It's all about building desire, anticipation, patience, tension, not rushing things.
And the lyrics spell this out pretty clearly, don't they? Like right from the start.
Exactly. Fonsi starts with, "Sabes que ya llevo un rato mirándote." You know I've been looking at you for a while.
Yeah.
See? It's not impulsive. It's observed, planned almost.
And then?
Me voy acercando y voy armando a plan. I'm getting closer and I'm forming the plan. It's deliberate, strategic even.
Okay, so it's intentional, not just getting swept away.
Right. And then the lyrics show the effect of this slow burn. Solo con pensarlo se acelera el pulso. Just thinking about it makes my pulse race. The anticipation itself is exciting. And then that line, esto hay que tomarlo sin ningún apuro. We have to take this without any rush. It nails that whole psychological approach. Savor the journey.
It's the buildup, making it last. Okay, so it sets the stage, but then the lyrics detail this progression towards intimacy, right?
Oh, absolutely. It maps it out carefully. From that initial attraction, it moves deeper, more sensual. You get lines like, quiero respirar tu cuello despacito. I want to breathe your neck slowly, focusing on sensory details.
Right, and then,
quiero desnudarte a besos despacito. I want to undress you with kisses, slowly. Again, slow, deliberate, heightening the experience.
but then it gets, well, pretty intense. There's that line about danger zones and forgetting your name.
Yes. Déjame sobrepasar tus zonas de peligro hasta provocar tus gritos y que olvides tu apellido.
Which translates to,
Let me go past your danger zones until I make you scream and you forget your last name.
okay, forget your last name. What's the psychological meaning there? That sounds like more than just getting carried away.
It really is. That's probably the deepest psychological point in the song. Forgetting your last name, it's a metaphor. It suggests reaching a state of complete abandon, like losing your sense of self entirely in the moment, becoming totally consumed by the experience, the sensation, the connection. Your individual identity just dissolves.
Wow. So it's about total immersion, pure presence.
Exactly. It's not just physical pleasure. It's hitting a point of psychological overwhelm, being utterly lost in the best way. It kind of makes you think, when do we ever let ourselves get that lost in an experience? Truly forget ourselves.
Yeah. That's quite profound for a pop song. It really maps a whole journey from a look across the room to this almost transcendent state, taps into something universal about desire and connection.
It really does.
So, okay, this is fascinating stuff. But what does it all mean for you listening, especially if you're not deep into educational theory or literary criticism? How can you actually use this? This is where it gets really interesting, I think, because Despacito turns out to be this surprisingly versatile, educational tool.
Yeah, absolutely. We can connect these dots for anyone. First off, think about it like basic literary analysis. You don't need a PhD for this. Even pop lyrics, which people often dismiss, use poetic devices. We can spot them, analyze them.
Okay, like what? What kind of literary stuff is in Despacito?
Well, metaphors, for instance. There's that line, firmar las paredes de tu laberinto.
Sign the walls of your labyrinth.
Right. Not literal, obviously. It suggests leaving a deep, permanent mark on someone's inner self, their complexities. Or, hacer de tu cuerpo todo un manuscrito.
Make your body a whole manuscript.
Yeah, like the body is a text to be read, explored, understood. These are creative, symbolic uses of language. You can analyze them just like you would a poem. It encourages you to ask, okay, what's really being said here?
It trains your brain to look deeper. And what about that phrase, malicia con delicadeza?
Malice with delicacy.
That sounds like a contradiction, right? An oxymoron.
Exactly. It is an oxymoron, and a clever one. It mixes contradictory ideas, malice, suggesting maybe some playful danger or intense desire, but delivered with delicacy, with smoothness, gentleness. It adds this really interesting layer of complexity to the whole seduction idea. It's not just simple lust, it's nuanced. Finding these things helps you practice critical thinking anywhere.
Okay, I see. So you're analyzing language, finding metaphors, contradictions. That makes sense. What about the bigger picture, like culture?
Right. So analyzing a massive hit like this is also a great way into cultural studies. You can see cultural values, maybe social norms around romance or sexuality reflected in the lyrics, and how media spreads these ideas.
And Despacito has specific cultural markers too, doesn't it?
It does. Vamos a hacerlo en una playa in Puerto Rico. Let's do it on a beach in Puerto Rico. That immediately places the fantasy in a very specific, evocative setting. It grounds it culturally.
Adds authenticity.
Yeah, and then the exclamation, ay bendito. That's a very common Puerto Rican expression. Little details like that anchor the song in a culture, making it more than just generic pop. It becomes a little cultural snapshot.
So, yeah, a mini lesson in cultural expression just from listening.
Exactly. And all of this, the language, the psychology, the literary bits, the cultural references, it shows what we call interdisciplinary learning, which just means seeing how different fields connect.
Yeah.
This one song touches on language, psychology, literature, culture, even geography.
All wrapped up in one catchy package.
Precisely. It makes learning feel, more holistic, more real. It proves that insights aren't just in textbooks. They're out there in the music you hear, the shows you watch. It's about being curious, basically. Using those analytical skills, the same ones you used to think about Despacito, to understand anything, really. News, history, even stuff in your own life.
It's really empowering, actually. You don't need special training to start thinking critically about the world. Just pay attention, ask questions, use pop culture as your starting point. What parts of this discussion stood out most to you, the listener? So let's just recap quickly. It's pretty amazing how much we unpacked from just one song, right? Despacito. We saw its massive cultural reach, how it kind of snuck Spanish into global conversations.
The accidental language lesson.
Yeah. And we dove into the psychology of it, that whole slowly strategy, the buildup of desire, leading to that intense idea of, forgetting yourself in the moment.
That psychological abandon.
Right. And then we saw its surprising potential as a learning tool. For language, for spotting literary tricks, for understanding cultural nuances. It shows that learning can be everywhere.
It really underscores that complexity and depth can hide in plain sight. You just have to be willing to look a little closer.
Totally. Which leads us to our final thought for you to chew on. If a global smash hit like Despacito holds all these layers, language, culture, psychology, education, what else out there? What other seemingly simple bits of pop culture or everyday life might be just as rich with hidden lessons?
Good question. What happens if you apply that same curious analytical eye to your favorite movie or a meme or even just a conversation you overheard?
Exactly. What deep dives are waiting in the things you encounter every day? Worth thinking about. Until next time, keep digging deeper.